In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 digital mistakes that a lot of people make that you need to stop making right now. Number 10. Leaving email messages unsecured. This is one mistake both companies and individuals make. They don't encrypt their emails. There are several reasons people leave their emails unsecured, like the complexity and the cost to secure the emails. For others, they simply don't think it's important or even possible. This is very wrong. You need to keep in mind that every email that you send without encryption is unprotected and vulnerable. That means it can easily be intercepted by hackers as a result. To prevent this, set up an email encryption system. It is possible to protect all your messages, including attachments. Also, keep in mind that one of the easiest ways to protect your mail is to use Google's Gmail or Microsoft's Outlook. Both of these services automatically have your messages encrypted. However, there's a caveat. Gmail only encrypts emails sent to other Gmail accounts, and Outlook only encrypts emails sent to other Outlook accounts. So, unless all your contacts happen to use the same emailing system, it's better to use an external email encryption device that will work on all platforms. Number 9. Using outdated computers. We're not talking about using a MacBook that's a few years old, no. This is mainly for corporations and offices that still make use of ancient desktop computers. These computers not only lack new features, but they freeze up a whole lot more and are slower at performing mundane tasks like printing, launching applications, and even using simple internet browsing. Not only does this reduce the productivity of your workers, it also makes them very frustrated. Another reason we frown against using old computers is that they are usually more prone and vulnerable to cyber attacks. This was found in the WannaCry and Petya ransomware attacks that happened in 2017. Putting sensitive information on old computers and laptops can be very dangerous, as they do not have updated software that is used to combat modern viruses. We suggest updating your computers every 3 to 5 years and changing their operating systems even more frequently. This is because most computers have a power life of about 3 years. Keep in mind that monitors can last way longer than that. After 3 years, newer and more powerful computer models are invented and made available. The new operating systems they use are usually made to be compatible with the most recent motherboard chips and technologies. As such, the performance of older computers begin to slow down and can become very inconsistent when delivering your services. This can mess up your jobs or files. You definitely need to stop that. Number 8. Expecting iPhone features from an Android. This is one mistake a lot of Android newbies make, especially when they migrate from using iOS phones to Androids for whatever reason. They expect Android devices to act like iOS devices, which is very wrong. They are completely different ecosystems. That's like going to Europe and expecting them to act American. It's a completely different culture. Of course, Androids are able to make and send calls, emails, text messages, or browse the net, but going beyond that, the Android and iOS platforms have so little in common. One of the most obvious differences between both is that in Android, you have so much control of what your phone can actually do. Most of the time, it's a little overwhelming for new Android users. But regardless of which switch you make from iOS to Android or vice versa, there's only a small learning curve to get you started. Number 7. Overheating their laptops. It is quite tempting to always want to be on our laptops, probably playing video games, watching YouTube videos, or even working. But the truth is, not giving your laptop enough time to rest is not only bad for the battery life, but can also cause a series of overheating, which spells doom for your laptop. Taking your laptop to bed while working is one way to cause overheating. This is because the bedspread smothers the vent and fan, which causes the laptop to overheat very quickly. Doing this regularly will cause your hard drive to go bad. Another surefire way to overheat your laptop is to leave it running day and night, non-stop. Even an idle laptop generates heat, and so to combat that, your laptop's cooling system has to be on 24/7. And if one day this cooling system tires from the load, your laptop is doomed. So, it is advisable to shut down your system completely once in a while to give those cooling systems a break. Number 6. Downloading harmful software. Free software is good. Heck, the entire script for this video was written using Google Docs, a completely free alternative to Microsoft Word. However, before you go and load up on all free software, you have to make sure that the software is completely safe. Be sure to check reviews of whatever platform you are downloading it from. Make sure it is from a reputable company or download it straight from the developer's webpage. Avoid all those pop-ups that might ask you to download and install a download manager before continuing with the process. In fact, it's good advice to avoid all pop-ups you find when browsing the internet. Most of them are malicious software that are designed to cause troubles to your laptop. Even worse, they might be malware developed to hack your computer and steal your information. See our video on how to know if you've been hacked using the link in the description to find out more. Finally, you might want to read about the program before installing, paying a close attention to the terms and conditions. Number 5. Ignoring software updates. Another mistake a lot of people make is ignoring software updates. If your system or software does not update automatically, it will always suggest you to carry out an update once it is available. However, people never really pay attention to this. It should be noted that updating devices is not just for getting extra new and shiny features. More often than not, software updates help to fix bugs and issues that users complained about. They might even help to add an extra layer of security to your device or that particular software that you're using. So, as often as possible, update your apps and update your operating system. Number 4. Hoarding and leaving apps idle. If you open your app drawer and see a hoard of apps that you cannot remember the last time you used, uninstall them. These unused apps take up so much memory space, computing power, and sometimes even drain your battery life with their background processes. This will cause your phone to be less effective by slowing it down or causing it to freeze. Also, if you are done with applications or processes, it is advisable you close them properly. However, your Bluetooth, why leave it on if it's not serving a purpose? It'll just drain down your battery life. And we can't forget blue bugging, also known as blue snarfing or blue jacking. It is a situation where a hacker gains access into your phone through your Bluetooth connection. In this case, the hacker only has to be 30 feet away from you to carry out his plans. Within a few seconds, a blue bugger can steal all confidential information from your phone, including your login details to different sites. So, unless you have an app reason for keeping your Bluetooth on, we suggest you turn it off when it's not in use. Number 3. Keeping your details logged in. Leaving your login details on sites like eBay, Amazon, PayPal, or other sites that include your credit card details is pretty much the same thing as leaving it on the table in a local eatery for anyone to reach and spend with. While it is very convenient to always stay logged into these sites, leaving your phones permanently logged in exposes you to serious financial risks. It's better that you do not check those boxes that try to convince you to save your username and password for sites. If your phone or device happens to get stolen, the thief would not need to pass through so much trouble to access your details. Before you know it, somebody is shopping on your credit card. This also applies to browsers. Do not give any browser the permission to retain your username and password. You should also make a habit of clearing your browser after each time you surf the net for sensitive material, especially if you're not using your personal device. Number 2. Underutilizing smartphones. Most of the time, people limit the way they use their smartphones, despite the fact that there are 1,001 new features included in them. Many people have a very little understanding of what their smartphones can do for them, and so for the most part, they underutilize it. Smartphones are capable of so much. They can do things like manage your calendar, create to-do lists, provide GPS-based driving directions, connect to cloud storage for access to data, track your business expenses, and so much more. All these features are what you need to start using your smartphone for. You paid full price for that device, so it's best to let it do the work. Number 1. Overlooking permissions. Before installing applications, make sure to check out the permissions the application requires for use. Don't ignore them. They can make you understand much better the nature of the app. Also, before installing any application, check if it needs permission to check your location and email. If it does, do not be so quick to accept. They should only be allowed in certain applications. If you started installing an app before you read the permissions and you don't sit well with it, just stop. But before we leave you, here's one bonus tip. Bonus: not backing up files. This is one of the most common mistakes people make when using their devices. They forget to back up their files. You hear stories about people storing years and years of data only to lose it all in one day because they didn't back it up. You definitely do not want that to happen to you. So, make sure you back up your files regularly, either to an external hard drive or SD card. Nowadays, you can even back up to the cloud, or heck, you can do both. That way, you never lose your files. And with that, guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.